I'm Jenna or Jenna Cat, and I do a variety of crafty projects here on YouTube, but today I wanted to do something a little bit different. I recently felt inspired to do a cloud slash space slash galaxy type photo shoot after I came across some of these photos online. So I wanted to show y'all how I set up for that in case you guys wanted to attempt to do something like this yourselves. I already had most of the supplies I needed for this shoot, but whatever I can link will be linked down below, and any Amazon links will be affiliate links. Prior to this setup, I did vacuum and mop my garage floor. Yes, I do vacuum and mop my garage floor semi-regularly because a lot of foot traffic comes through here, lots of dirt and leaves and outside gunk gets tracked through here, and I like to do a lot of my projects in here, and we also do our laundry in here, and it just feels so much better when it's clean. But I especially cleaned super well because I'm going to be putting all of my props and stuff on the floor. I'm gonna be lying, well, like on rugs and stuff, but it's gonna be on this floor, so I just wanted it to be super duper clean, well, as clean as a concrete garage floor can get. I mean, if you look at it now, it is covered in past project paint, but that is okay. It is clean enough. So without further ado, let's get into it. First, I repurposed this stand that came with my portable projector screen and used that to hang up a white sheet to act as a backdrop for my photos. It was actually perfect for this purpose. I set it higher than I realized I needed because once the sheet was hung, I noticed that it was way too sheer, so I folded it over to make 2 layers of the sheet instead, which meant I did have to shorten the stand again, but this stand made it really easy to adjust as I needed. I set my camera up to get a better idea of placement and how everything was looking through the view of the lens, but the camera ended up not staying in this position at all, but it helped give me an idea of what I was looking for. Now you can see that the sheet has a lot of creases in it. If I were a perfectionist, or just not in a hurry to get this finished, I would have ironed the sheet really well, but that sounded way too tedious at the time, so I just used a wrinkle release spray all over the sheet. It helped a tiny bit, but it did not get those more severe creases out. In the end, I don't even think you see the sheet in any of the photos, so it didn't actually matter. I wanted to create an almost seamless white setting, partially to hide the ugliness of my garage, but also to really sell the idea of floating in a sea of clouds. And this is my box of fluff. I bought some polyfill on Amazon, and then I thought, I don't think this is gonna be enough. So I got 2 more bags. Hopefully that will be enough. Now it's time to fluff things up. I started spreading the polyfill around the area I imagined I would be laying and kept fluffing it as I went and occasionally laying down to make sure the positioning would be good. Then I realized I should have laid my lights down first, so now I have to move the polyfill out of the way and get the lights underneath. And here's my massive disclaimer, maybe don't use Christmas lights underneath polyfill. They got really hot, like really hot, so I had to turn them off frequently to make sure I didn't start any fires. But don't worry, I did have a fire extinguisher nearby in case that happened, but it didn't. But I'm just saying, maybe don't use Christmas lights for this particular project. My LED light strips worked like 10 times better and didn't get hot at all. I just only had 1 spare strip to use, so if I were to do this shoot over again, I'd make sure I have at least 4 different LED light strips, that way I can make them all different colors easily. The blue ended up being the dimmest of the colors, and you'll see soon how I used the generative AI feature in Photoshop to help with this. Now I'm getting my lighting in place. I have 2 lights set to hit from the front and 1 in the back pointed slightly at the sheet to get a sort of back glow going on. And even though I have a degree in film production, lighting is still one of my weakest areas. I've taken classes on lighting, I've researched light placement since college, and man, it is still a struggle for me to aesthetically light a scene. But at least for now, I am forcing myself to work with what I got and just learn something new each time I use them. Alright, I more or less have my little cloud studio set up behind me. So I'm gonna go ahead and do my hair, makeup, change my outfit, and we're gonna come back
for some hopefully really awesome photos. See you in a moment. All right, hair, makeup, outfit done. I wanted to start off with like a little bit of a galaxy look, see how that goes, see how that looks in the photos, and then I'll probably take this part off and maybe change it to just like a plain black top and do a few more photos from there. And I'm in a very awkward position because of how I have the camera angled and I don't feel like moving it. I'm gonna use my Canon 60 Mark II and the Canon Connect app that allows me to use my phone to change camera settings and focus and take photos through my phone. I know a lot of cameras have like remotes that kind of do same things. I don't have a remote for my Canon, so I'm just gonna use my phone to take these photos, and this camera will catch got some shadows on my face, but this camera will catch some of the behind the scenes of like posing and that kind of stuff, and fingers crossed that these photos turn out really cool.
For posing, I took my photos from up above, looking down. Those were the best angles I could get while just using a tripod and not like an actual human photographer. Tried some mystical / whimsical poses and really wanted my hair to like sprawl out above my head, but I simply do not have enough hair for the look I was going for. I got it decently sprawled out, but certainly not as dramatic as I wanted. And always try out different angles. I moved the camera a couple times, and some of the new angles I tried did not turn out well at all, but I wouldn't have known what would work and what wouldn't work if I didn't at least try. And then I had this really awesome moon lamp that I got from Amazon. It wasn't as bright as I would have liked for this particular shoot, but it's still a cool lamp that I use all the time outside of this photo shoot now. The only annoying thing is that the colors changed every time I picked it up or moved it. I don't understand why or how, it just happened, and so I had to use the remote to change the color back right before every photo, so that was annoying, and a little bit of a design flaw, but I digress. And then I got some more photos in a different outfit and even used a spray bottle to get my hair wet to make it look like I got like rained on or something, but my camera did not record any of that process, so you'll just have to wait to see the final results. Okay, let's pop into the editing process. I won't go into a huge amount of detail, especially since I'm not like super advanced when it comes to editing. I just try to make the elements that are already there look better. I've used Photoshop for years, but I'm definitely not advanced by any means. I focus mainly on brightening my face, taking away any blemishes on my face, making the glow and saturation of the light stronger, and even use generative AI to add glows to the areas of the clouds that didn't have much of a glow at all. This was a feature I'd never used before. It was a bit of, I don't want to say learning curve, because it's pretty straightforward, but it's just like a weird little feature that sometimes yields very bizarre results. Some of these results are from a different photo shoot I did recently, and I don't understand how my prompt made it so it kept putting a cat or like a dog in my photo. It's very bizarre. Generative AI sometimes gets it, sometimes doesn't. And here's some of the final photos. I loved how they turned out, and honestly, the process to make this happen wasn't difficult at all. And if I ever wanted to do this again, I have a few things that I know I would do for the future to make this shoot even better. And if I had a model, then I could get even more creative angles, or if I had a photographer, then they could get even more creative angles. But you get it. There's a lot of ways to play with something like this, and definitely something that I think I'll try again in the future to see how I've grown from this particular experience. Now, I didn't record an outro for this video, so I'll just say it now. I hope this inspired you to make your own cloud photo shoot, or maybe it spurred on a completely different idea that you want to try. And if you do try something based on this video, then please let me know down in the comments below, or like let me know what you're thinking of trying. I'm so curious to know what other creative minds think. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely day.